WTF! WTF!
Yes, that was exclusive footage of Kevin Owens' mother reacting to the beating that Kevin Owens suffered last night at SummerSlam 2018. That was very sad. What was not sad, however, is the fact that we beat the Wrestle Twats. Jesus Christ, you massive cultaholic, come on in here. There he is. You would have fought for the biggest event of the summer. He would have shed a few pounds, but he hasn't, and oh, I haven't either. Us big lads know how to party, don't we, Finn? Shabba! Yes, we're dealing with the pre-show, if you couldn't tell, and seconds after everybody on the pre-show panel was calling it the biggest party of the summer, even though every single person on WWE programming has been calling it the biggest event of the summer to make us sound posh or something, a wild Sasquatch appeared because it's Jonathan! Yes, JBL returned to WWE programming as part of what has to be the biggest pair of dickheads I've personally seen since I've seen two blokes walking down the street with fully formed penises coming out of their foreheads like a snork ting. And when dickhead Peter Rosenberg thinks about SummerSlam, he thinks about SummerSlam 2004, insert dramatic pause, just after 2004. And just inside that pregnant pause, just after 2004, Vince McMahon's anus swallowed the rest of his torso. Thankfully, Stinky Pete talked about The Undertaker from SummerSlam 2004 and not He Who Must Not Be Named from the show's main event. Pretend I'm the director of that there shot just for a second now. Now we want to make this shot look as natural as possible. Two normal looking people who do not look like the cretins who make YouTube videos about WWE naturally walking into a WWE event. It'll be great, the director probably said, but what he didn't have to account for is the fact that he had to prompt the poor buggers with a stick to get them going. Why did this shot have to happen live? We all saw they missed their cue, and what made things worse is the fact they murked off the poor old usher who was trying to show them to their seats. I bet that guy there was saying, oh my god, and I don't mind because Usher. So next, the New Day were running down why Brooklyn is special to them. They were saying it was where they won the tag team championship. Xavier was saying it's where he gave birth to Francesca right out of his own. And then my boy Big E says that Brooklyn is special to him because of baby oil, a slip and slide, wrestling headgear, and because, boy, he was getting some. And I just thought I should mention this to you just to put the image inside of your head, coming to a Pornhub near you soon. Tea time. Now I can't believe this happened after everything we've been through over the past couple of years, but Booker T openly said that JBL was the one who made The Miz dress in the hallway, and JBL also looked down on The Miz for a very, very long time. You might as well have just said he bullied the poor bastard Booker, because he said just about everything else without actually saying bullied. Put your foot in it there, didn't you, Booker? Which means all the rumour and innuendo that was circulating around JBL last year and the year before that has got to be true, which means in turn, it's time to cook again! And next up we have Booker T claiming that Lana got a bit discomplacent after her spinneroonie. Words, English, numpty. So it turns out that Brock Lesnar's locker room at a WWE event is nothing more than a darkened storage closet. Look at it, man. Every single time he turns up for work, he must find a couple of teenagers or a couple of teachers necking on in there. There's no wonder he never turns up for work when he's been tried like a soggy mop and bucket. Now is the WWE? Shame on you. And next up we have the fact that big baldy bastard Baron Corbin had to ask Kurt Angle if Brock Lesnar's locker room / storage cupboard was ready mere seconds after we saw Paul Heyman do an interview and then walk into Brock Lesnar's locker room / storage cupboard. Why, I hear you ask? I'm blind! And next up we have Paige and Drake Maverick saying the constables used to be important in the UK, but they aren't anymore. Roughly translated in English, of course, the constables used to be important in the UK, but they aren't anymore. They still bloody are, mate. Sergeants and constables are still really pissing high up in the police in 2018 in the UK, which means we have one question to ask here. Paige and Drake, what are you doing? Yes, last night on the pre-show, as you can see there was a sign that said Cultaholic versus What Culture, and to be honest with you, it just wouldn't be fair. Simon Miller on his Todd against the four of us? Come on now, it's not fair, isn't it? Anyway, we all love Simon, so why we want to fight him? And now we have the Poundland Byron Saxton. Imagine being called the Poundland Byron Saxton. What's the point in living anymore? Yes, Percy Watson claiming that Cedric Alexander has never faced anybody like Drew Gulak before with all the mat-based offense and stuff. Jack Gallagher, Bryan, Kendrick, Hideo Itami all springing me immediately to mind, and all have faced Cedric Alexander in a WWE ring in recent months. Just remember, when times are tough in your life, please remember you'll never be as rubbish as Percy Watson. So seconds after Cedric Alexander went arse over tit over the top rope by doing a Tobe con hilo, Poundland Tom Phillips this time claimed that this is what 205 Live is all about. If that's the case, then my good pal, why do we see the same thing happening match after match after match on the main roster? No wonder 205 Live's in a distant corner on the WWE network these days, because the style, for the little fellas, it was exclusive way back in the late 90s, but today it's all the pissing same, isn't it? Ballin', it's John O'Clock again, mother. It's okay to be wrong, he says. Tell that to the mates who he used to put in the hallway and look down upon for so long, eh, John? Maggle, 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 maggle. So here's a direct quote from Maggle Cole. So good to have my soulmate, my life partner and lover, JBL, back. He hasn't lost a step. Spank my arse and call me Gertrude, Maggle. Are you telling us he had a step in the first place? You can't be serious, Jeff. I tell you what, she looks like she's been looking through the letterbox of a young boy who's home alone but lives with his pet rat. Or even worse, bloody Mantor. Uno, dos, tres, catos. Don't know, but it's John O'Clock! Here we go again with John. If not for Brock Lesnar, apparently, Roman Reigns would be an unstoppable Universal Champion. Oh, John, we can't half tell that you spend too much time on Fox or whatever channel it is talking about money and bollocks, because as we've all seen in recent times, Roman Reigns has been humanised so much that the revival piss and beat him, man. Not to mention the many, 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 many more men who have as well. We are less than 3 minutes away from SummerSlam. Really? Get back in your box, man, Stinky Pete. Cultaholic signs. Thank you very much to Daniel Torkel, New Age Lucha, and the countless other people who had signs at SummerSlam last night and TakeOver the night before. We very much appreciate your efforts, but I couldn't find you all because crap at finding things, me. I tell you what, though, next time you go to a WWE event, just take one with our name on, will you? Because, you know, it's good and wholesome and pure. And we kick off the WTF moments from the main show with a stat that reads that this is the first time in 15 years that John Cena has missed a WWE SummerSlam. And since that's a lifetime for some of you watching this video, undoubtedly, that's a WTF moment. Because here tonight is where dreams come true, apparently. Let's hold our horses there, Terry, with the dancing titties. You can't be blotting stuff out like that, man. The thing hadn't even started. We hadn't seen Dean turn heel. We hadn't seen Kevin Owens win the Universal Championship. We hadn't seen mine and Rusev's big wedding to main event the entire night. Oh. For once, I'm going to be on the side of Jonathan Coachman. There he is asking why dirty diddling Dolph Ziggler is bringing back the carcass of Seth Rollins into the ring. And then Michael Cole pipes up saying that Dolph Ziggler wants to pin Seth Rollins in the middle of the ring. It's what Dolph's all about. Bear in mind, of course, that Michael Cole has called just about every single match that dirty diddling Dolph Ziggler has had since he turned dirty diddler on Diddly 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 Raw. So the question is, Michael, what is this? 2014, because that was the last time he wanted to do things the way you claimed he did. He's been filthy for so long now. Oh, Nikki and Brie, you absolute pair of tools. Here we are in an era of WWE where the main storyline is every single member of the WWE Universe hating on a superstar who cares more about everything else apart from WWE. And there you appear on the show unannounced saying you're focusing on your YouTube channel and the show on that channel and the show on this channel and your hair and your makeup and everything else apart from WWE. Did you really expect to get cheered by saying you care about everything but WWE? Well done to Brooklyn, by the way, for taking none of the naive bollocks. Now, I can't have been the only one thanking all of the heavenly pancakes above that is as far as that cosplay went. Bloody hell, it could have been messy. Eric, the fake Sting reindeer, has a fairy ginger beard. What are they doing with the things on their head, and what happened to the reindeer that they took those things from? So many questions, including why did they think that thing there was scary? So just as Rudolph and Blitzen were making their way down to the ring, Corey Graves pipes up and says that the New Day are going to find out that horror movies and nightmares very rarely have happy endings. Now, focusing on the nightmares part of that statement, no way, pal, because of course if nightmares had happy endings, there'd be dreams. Made a grave mistake, Corey. Over 600 pounds of malicious predators. Corey Graves, we went through this last week. Greg Hamilton says 590 pounds, yet you still get it wrong. Unless the antlers. Nah, the antlers can't weigh that much, man. Look like pipe cleans from a children's art project. Hang on a second now, we're at SummerSlam and the New Day won the match but not the titles, and they're not celebrating in the ring with balloons and streamers raining down from the rafters? What's wrong with them? Made a grave mistake, Corey. Now, in what was as big a mistake as getting that man involved in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship / United States Championship match that year, Corey Graves claimed that Jon Stewart hosted WWE SummerSlam in 2017, when of course we all know it took place in 2015. But then again, he kind of blamed Corey for repressing the memories of that horrible chair shot to John Cena's gut, because I have as well. It was pissing horrible. Now I know you must be thinking to yourselves, whose cornflakes must Kevin Owens have pissed in for him to lose that match against Braun Strowman in such a quick fashion? But do not worry, I've got a reason for you. Of course, Kevin Owens knew that if he won that match last night, then Wrestle Twat TV would have won that predictions competition, and I would have to degrade myself more than I normally do. So it's clear for all to see then, Kevin Owens is all about the cultaholic, and you need to pass that on. What a weird time we live in there. There was a time, of course, when the boys would call fans marks, but now we have the boys being marks about something else. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are marks for nerdy things, and you do with that information what you will. I am confused, I need my mum. Nice of Carmella and Charlotte to pay respects to Natalya with the ring gear though. Finally, Becky Lynch stopped being a worthless carrot. She grew a set of bollocks and she pissing her so-called best pals cornflakes. This should have happened a long time ago, of course, but the fact it did finally happen after so long of not happening makes it a bona fide WTF moment. However, I do think it's clear that WWE made a massive whoopsie by not making her the champion last night, judging by the crowd's reaction. WWE not judging a room? Shock! The headline coming out of Evolution, Becky Lynch finally gets the big one? I think so. You watch this space now. Don't worry, Wendy, Daddy's coming home tonight. Yes, Queen, choke me, Daddy, eat my ass. I cannot believe after every single thing we've been through here at Cultaholic.com the past few months, the feud for the WWE Championship is now revolving around daddies. Right on the calf bone, Tom Phillips screams, insert obvious erect penis bone joke. And then Big Tom claimed the announce table shifted a couple of feet after Alan Jones was shunted into it by a big sweaty Samoa Joe, and somebody needs to explain to Big Tom the difference between feet and inches. And his aeroplane Willie probably isn't as big as he thinks it is. And next up we have Samoa Joe saying to AJ Styles and Wendy's daughter, don't worry, I'll be your new daddy. Yes, Queen, choke me, Daddy, eat my ass. Once again, I cannot believe this is happening, but it does prove to us all that Vince McMahon is a massive fan of Cultaholic, and him, like me, has realised that using this language is relatable to all the millennials. Are we sure that AJ Styles is the daddy? Because that little girl there wanted nothing to do with him, did she? It was almost as if AJ Styles was a stranger to that little girl. Maybe Samoa Joe was right all along. I, for one, cannot wait for the custody of that little girl there. Ladder match. When the hell did Mick Foley get plastic surgery to look a bit more like Kevin Nash than step on a live exposed wire? What the hell is that? Here's a thought for you after that match last night. Do you reckon Vince McMahon still thinks that Samoa Joe is just a big fat Samoan, as he did way back in the day? If he does, he wants his toe stuck in a massive blender. Elias's guitar broke last night and he just walked off. One question, of course, where's his backup guitars? I'm starting to think he might not be a real singer and he's just a professional wrestler pretending to be one. Oh, Mark! But the one thing I took away from that baffling segment last night is that the Fender marketing team, who of course sponsor Elias these days, must have been going radio rental, because Elias made their guitars look as weak as Wrestle Talk TV. Don't buy the sun. Made a grave mistake, Corey. Miz is the father of Maurice's children. Children is in plural. Bloody hell, Corey, you're telling us something we don't know yet? Miz is quite the daddy, isn't he? Choke me, Miz. Yes. And now it's time for this. Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank. Hello and welcome to Wankety Wank, the section of WTF Moments where just click on blankety blank where they fill in the blanks. A sexual wank pheasant tweets through the WTF moment, and I give them all the credit because I'm a lovely, wholesome boy. Thank you to Woken Nick Williams, who pointed out that not everybody in Brooklyn is a vegan and some people actually eat meat. We learn something every day, don't we? Now, of course, as we all saw, the finish to the Miz and Daniel Bryan match was old-fashioned. It was a throwback. I thought it was fantastic. It continues the feud. I can't wait to see more after a match that simmered along but didn't boil. But I have one question coming out of that finish, and that is, why is Brie Bella saying that she's going to be out there for Ronda Rousey's match but not be out there for her own bloody husband's match? If Brie was down there, she could have prevented what Maurice did, and Daniel Bryan might not have lasted the match. But what am I saying, really? She's more interested in a YouTube channel and the show on that channel and the show on that channel and what's happening in the world of Peppa Pig. Last time ever? Remember end of an era? Aye, last time ever. Bollocks. Or as the Australians would say, flaming garligoodigons. Soz. Nam-hoon Kim? That didn't be silly. That's South Korean Joe, the South Korean submission machine. And back he came, and in the words of Oasis, I don't know why. Now, as we all know, the Demon, your boy Finn Balor, only comes out in the biggest and best of matches, and that match last night against big baldy bastard Baron Corbin certainly wasn't one of those. Nothing on the line, absolute garbage storyline, piss break match that your boy Finn Balor decided he had to go to the darkest depths of his mind. Unless, of course, he actually really does find it really offensive being called really small by a really tall man. Let's have a wrestle. I don't know why I would, but this is the only reason I can come up with for the Demon Finn Balor to come back. But this raises yet another question. We've seen in the past your boy Finn Balor struggle against big baldy bastard Baron Corbin, yet he throws on some paint and he has no bother winning the match. Why doesn't he be the Demon all the piss and time? Oh, Maggle Cole, according to your fine self, the last time the Demon, your boy Finn Balor, was part of WWE SummerSlam, it was 2 years ago, which it wasn't. We all know it was last year as part of that horrible feud against Bray Wyatt. Again, I kind of blame Maggle Cole for forgetting that feud because it was absolute bell sniff. So bad, of course, that when WWE had to cancel the big blow-off match because of Bray Wyatt's illness, when Bray Wyatt was fit again, they didn't pick it up. Now call me a cynical man, but whoever put Daniel Bryan in the same shot as a big thing with fragile written on it is an arsehole. Now, of course, Jeff Hardy these days, rightfully so after what he's been through over the past 25 years, says he doesn't do swanton bombs nearly as much as these days because he's 40 and they're pissing her. However, we saw the same Jeff Hardy last night hit a successful swanton bomb before going back up to the top rope, going for another swanton bomb on the pissing apron and missing and crashing and dying hard. Jeff, we get it, man. We know you're extreme. You don't have to prove it anymore. Just take it a little bit slower. So the United States Championship match is over. Jeff Hardy's probably dead thanks to that bump on the apron. Randy Orton's music plays. Randy Orton slithers down to the ramp. Randy Orton stops at the bottom of the ramp, thinks, bloody hell, I forgot to shake the hand of the new writer after rubbing me penis, so he inadvertently touches me dick. Isn't that funny? Haha. So he turns right back around, walks away, and we're all scratching our head, confused as piss. I don't know what they were going for here, but if you do, please let me know because I'm really intrigued and also equally worried for the new writers backstage. I take back what I said before because that there is pissing terrifying. Jonathan Coachman, you make me miss Booker T every single week he's not on commentary, and that horrible bastard would treble my workload every single time he was on a WWE show. Why are you letting us know that Ronda Rousey is calling her spots with Alexa Bliss? Why do you have to tell us that Ronda said ready before hitting the move and taking Alexa with her? I'm sure that Ronda, new to this thing and, understandably calling her spots, love the fact you pointed that out, you absolute dog. Please think about what you say before you bloody say it. That's the biggest big dog I've ever seen. Clifford's crapping his pants, innit? Roms and Reigns, I think it says. The hair, the missing teeth, that thing's just bloody glorious, isn't it? I doubt it, like. I don't care if that numpty there wears his socks really low. He's soft as pun. I like. Yakshimash. And here we arrive at the main event where Vince McMahon started to tickle our bollocks but didn't allow us to blot our load everywhere because he's a horrible bastard. He did a mic drop just to prove he's the one in charge. But don't fear, dear viewer, Vince is taking it away now, so when he eventually gives us it, it means much more and we have a bigger pop because it means more. We're gagging for it for a long time. He knows what he's doing, man. Down Braun Strowman came, he said he'd cash in whoever won the match. But before he could do so, he was taken out by a flying big dog, a Brock Lesnar F5 and a few chair shots, meaning that when Brock Lesnar got back in the ring, he was hit by a surprise spear, meaning that Roman Reigns won the Universal Championship. Finally, I cannot believe it's over. And then we had the waiting and the waiting and the waiting. Where's Braun Strowman? Is he going to cash in? Where's Braun Strowman? Surely he's got to cash in. But no, it appears we live in a WWE universe where Braun Strowman can be thrown into a garbage truck, crushed, murdered, killed, murdered, but come back alive again. But in this instance, he gets hit by a few steel chair shots, a big spear, an F5, and he's dead. He cannot get up. You must agree with me, people, at the mathematics of the situation, the murder, and the chair shot, and the spear, and the F5, the maths, it doesn't quite add up. It's all Scott Steiner, isn't it? But again, as I say, Vince McMahon has taken it away now, so when he eventually gives it to us all, it means that much more. So just don't cry. Let's just wait. Remember WrestleMania 30? It'll be sort of like that, maybe. However, the silver lining to this massive grey country strong cloud is the fact that after 3 long years of waiting, we finally see the big dog capture the big one. Please, WWE, for the love of all that's Christ, make sure this is over now. Give Roman his reign, send Brock the other way. Let's not get in this pickle again. Let's have Roman hold the belt for a few months, take on all comers, show up on Raw every week, do everything Brock Lesnar didn't do, and then have Braun Strowman crush him and win the belt and carry the torch into the future for a long and prosperous WWE future. How romantic, yeah? That's it for all of your WTF moments from SummerSlam 2018. Thank you very much for being a sexual wank pheasant once again. I've been Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com. We beat the wrestle twats. Hey! If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at RossOnWrestling. If you like what we do here at Cultaholic.com, you can pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Anything you thought to give us would be greatly appreciated, and we'll love you long time. But most importantly of all, subscribe to this YouTube channel and make sure to follow us everywhere we have the things on the world of social media.